Good evening, my fellow Americans. Over the past several weeks, you have heard a number of reports on TV, radio, and in your newspapers on the situation in Southeast Asia. I think the time has come for me as President and as Commander-in-Chief of our armed forces to put these reports in perspective. To lay all the pertinent facts before you and to let you judge for yourselves as to the success or failure of our policy.
So many people, sent their sons off to war. And I just remember the first public death of a soldier from Cleveland was a person who had gone to my high school. And that sort of shocked me, to see this young man's face and knowing that he probably was about 19. And that just sort of struck me, and I think it struck a lot of families in that Cleveland metropolitan area. Once you started getting people like Martin Luther King verbalizing something that would be, against violence, and that was becoming the thing, an anti-violence, a peace approach, and I think that was something that students were basically grabbing a hold to. Maybe because they didn't want to go to war, but also maybe because that just made sense, that we were moving out of an era of handling all our problems with war and trying to say, let's give peace a chance, let's talk, maybe there's a way to end this.
The active, large-scale American and South Vietnamese participation in the fighting in Cambodia has brought a cry of anger from many college campuses. On Saturday night, demonstrators at Kent State University in Ohio burned the ROTC building to the ground.
Had been dropped, and so students were being tear gassed to go into their dorms, but then there was tear gas coming down the ventilation, so they were coming out because they were, really getting affected by the tear gas. And this is on campus and off campus that this was occurring. It was a very crazy thing, and I just, it just frightened me because I could hear, like helicopters, and then I could, smell the tear gas, and it was frightening. And I couldn't believe it was happening, that was happening in this country on a college campus. There were lots of rumors, and I think a lot of disorganization because none of the people who were in positions of authority really had any experience with anything like this, whether it was the mayor whether it was the National Guard or whether it was the president of the school. There's rescue people, ambulances going up in that area, and so we really didn't know that students had been shot at that point in time. We had heard the firecracker type thing, but we really thought it was firecrackers. We had no idea that, you know, there had been any guns shot off.
Find the cost of freedom buried in the ground.
We all had to, you know, come to grips that students had been killed, and all the students that were killed had been in my class. And all of the girls had lived in the same dorm area that I had lived in. And I think the hard part, you know, was to know that those students that were killed were not the students down here. They were students walking to class.